I've worked on video for years, and I know what the real fear about making video is. It's making mistakes on camera and looking like an idiot. Well, let me just tell you, you don't have to look like an idiot on camera. No matter how bad you think you sound on camera or you think you look on camera, there's ways to fix all your mistakes. Let me show you the 7 reasons on why you want to edit your business video. Nobody is perfect, and when it comes to creating videos, it applies here as well. The great part about it is we have this safeguard to protect us from really looking stupid on camera. And that safeguard is called editing. But before we get started, make sure you like this video and subscribe to our channel. Now with editing, you can take what you record on your camera, as imperfect as it is, and you can create a masterpiece out of it by removing mistakes, manipulating some of the images, changing the order, things like that will give you a great result in the end. So I'm going to share with you these 7 reasons why you want to edit your business video. Number 1, you want to remove your mistakes. Now you may stumble on words here or there, forget a line, or just ultimately drop the ball when you start talking. The good part about it is all these things can be removed when you edit. So if you have a bad take or you say the wrong things, just cut it out. You can remove all the mistakes, and then in the end you only have the good parts of what you filmed. The second thing you can do is you can add B-roll. Now B-roll are quite simply video shots and other images that can be used over your audio. If you do a recording of an interview like this, sometimes you want to do a cutaway and show something while I'm talking about something else. It's a good way to not have to look at my face and get a visual representation of what I'm saying. This will in turn double emphasize it for you. You'll be hearing the point and you'll be seeing something that represents it as well. Both at the same time, this makes for a very powerful message. So it's great when you're adding your B-roll to your footage, whether it's video footage or whether it's an image. Make sure that your audio and your video match. Number 3, we're going to talk about adding music and sound effects. Now an interview is just that, a person talking in front of a camera. But what if we can influence the mood that we want to portray? What if we can get the audience feeling a certain way? Now this is where music comes in. The music you pick will in turn share the emotion, the feeling, and the overall tone of the piece the way you want it. You can also take your volume and turn it down so that you don't interfere with talking. That way, that undercurrent of music will drive the tone of your piece. By adding music, you're going to subliminally give people the opportunity to feel a certain way and to go down a certain road emotionally. So no matter what you're saying, you can add in music to help you set the tone. Number 4, we're going to add text and titles. This is a great opportunity to share certain information that might not be said or to set the stage for something. A good place to use your text is at the beginning or at the end of your video. This will tell your audience what the video is about. You can also add additional text whenever you need it to further explain some kind of idea, situation, or something that they hear or see on your video. Now this will help create a stronger connection between the message you're giving to your audience through the video and their own thoughts on the video. By helping them make that connection with your text, you can get a better understanding of your video quickly, easier, and one that lasts, because when you see it, you believe it and you remember it. Number 5, you're going to want to remove those extras, as I call it. Now these aren't necessarily mistakes that you would have taken out in the beginning. These are those extra things that just take up a little bit too much time or are a little bit too repetitive. Things like ums. When you say a lot on camera, that's something that can easily be removed. By listening to your raw video footage, you'll find out what your personal fillers are, and you'll have the opportunity to remove them when you get into the editing process. Another type of filler is actually breathing. A function that we have to do normally and by design is something that actually takes up time and makes noise on camera that we really don't need. By using editing, you can remove long breaths and you can actually keep the flow of the piece going by keeping the video and the audio a little bit tighter. Number 6, you get to control and manipulate the footage. Now this is the best part because there are so many different things that you can do here. The first thing you can do is you can change the order. Now when you film things, you don't necessarily have to film them in the correct order. You can do them out of order and then in the editing process, reorder them to make sense. You can do them in any order you see best fit for your shoot, and then you can get the right order situated in your post-production. Manipulating the footage also means we have an opportunity to create new sentences. And by create new sentences, I'm not talking about manipulating in a bad way, making a person say something that they didn't necessarily mean and changing their wording around. What I'm talking about is when you have a person saying an idea, but it's not in a concise sentence. By using editing, we can pick out the best pieces and make it a concise sentence that actually sounds natural as well. We don't want to manipulate and make people say something that they don't mean, but by keeping the original meaning behind it, we can create new sentences that fit into our video piece and get the message across that we want. This is what we call our fine-tune editing. And when we go through this again, we might notice more things that we want to take out. More repeated segments, more fillers, and quite honestly, you're going to find some more mistakes when you get into the fine-tune editing as well. All of that can come out because we're getting closer and closer to something that's smooth and represents us the best in our professional presentation. And then the last piece in manipulating the footage is we can cut it down to a specific length. By removing things, shortening pieces, getting things organized in the right way, we can ultimately say, if this video needs to be a certain length, we can fit it into that length while we still get all the information that we need into it. And last but not least, we're gonna give it that professional look overall. The best part about editing is when you're done, all these things together are gonna give your video a professional look that will show. By going through these 7 steps, your video will be polished, your message will come through clearer, and you'll be able to visually represent everything you're talking about in your video with your visuals. Creating that professional look is important because you want the look to match the information. So those are reasons why you don't want to take your video from your camera and upload it directly online. By adding that step of editing video, whether you do it yourself or whether you have an editor help you out in the process, it's going to give you a lot more options and it's going to give you a much better, much more professional result. So whether you're just removing the mistakes you made on camera, adding your B-roll footage and photos to enhance what you're saying and to visually represent it, you're adding music and sound effects to set the mood, you're adding titles and text to further knock home your points, you're removing all those extras like excessive breathing, and filler words. You're controlling and you're manipulating your footage to get the best possible outcome to present your message, but you're doing that while keeping your integrity and not twisting people's words to make it say something that they really didn't need. And you're gonna give it that overall professional look that people want and that you'll feel good about in the end. Adding the extra step of post-production will give you exponential results when it comes to how things look in the end. Not only will you have that professional, polished look, but you'll feel great about your piece as well, and so will your audience. When you do things like look at the before and the after, you'll realize that it's not even close. Editing your video makes things work out much better. So when you shoot your footage, make sure you save it, and if you need any help editing it, use these 7 tactics when you do it. And if you need any help in the process, whether helping yourself edit the footage you have, or you're looking for an editor to help you get through it, talk to me. I will point you in the right direction. Good luck out there, make some great content, and I'll talk to you soon.